Hope in the shadows, origin, childhood, tragedy, transformation. Norville, a city of glass and long shadows. Rakan was a quiet child, not weak, just watching. His father, an aircraft mechanic, taught him one rule: light has no value unless you understand the shadow. As a child, Rakan never understood those words. Why doesn't justice win? Why do good people disappear? Then, one stormy night, everything changed. The city broke. Sirens, fire, screams. The workshop burned, and his father vanished into the smoke. Rakan stood frozen, not afraid, just searching for an answer. Years passed. At 17, on a night he would never forget, an alley, a struggle, a man falls. Rakan runs, no hesitation. Then, something was wrong. His shadow moved first. It wasn't following him, it was leading. Fast, silent, a presence you don't see until it's too late. He never wanted to be a hero, not a symbol, not a legend, just unseen. Then one night he saw it. Not an animal, not human, something in between, watching him. A single thought crossed his mind. If the shadow protects me, then I will become the shadow. That was the moment everything began. He returned to what remained of his father's workshop. Ash, silence, but something remained. Pieces of metal his father once used, fragments that had survived the fire. He held them in his hands. If this metal survives the sky, it can survive the dark. A suit built from what was left behind, the core materials. It wasn't simply built, it was shaped from what survived, from what refused to break. It didn't shine, it swallowed the light. It moved without a sound. And when he wore it, the shadow didn't follow him anymore. It answered. The Malk. It wasn't just a mask, not to hide, but to become something else, something the night itself would recognize. He put it on, and the world changed. The light bent away from him, sound faded, even his own breath disappeared. He wasn't hiding in the dark anymore, he belonged to it. Built from the same knowledge that once kept machines in the sky, a mask that blended the aviation science he inherited from his father with the silent spirit of the Caracal he had chosen as his symbol. Functional, precise, built to perform under any condition. Shadow activation. When he taps into his power, neon energy lines ignite. Thin streaks run along his limbs, while a glowing line rises along his back, mirroring the spine of a great feline. His eyes flare with light. The markings appear only when his abilities awaken, making him seem less human and more like a creature born from darkness. First confrontation. 3 years of brutal training passed. Physical, mental, technical. His first real test came against the Borderline Gang, the most chaotic group in the city. They thought he was just another masked pretender. They were wrong. 3 men rushed him. For a second, he vanished. Then, he was behind them. A burst of speed within darkness. A power triggered only when his mind became completely calm. His first fight wasn't a victory. It was a lesson. Anger made him weaker. Silence made him dangerous. The archivist appears. After the confrontation, Rakan walked the alleys alone. The city felt wrong, too quiet, too still. Then, click, a car door. He turned. A black car, no plates, under a dying streetlight. The back door opened. Someone stepped out. Calm, too calm. He didn't even look at Rakan. He simply cleaned his white glove. Then he looked up. An ivory mask. No face, no emotion, only two thin glowing lines. The light didn't touch him. It bent away. When he spoke, his voice wasn't loud, but it cut deeper than a shout. You think you're searching for the meaning of your shadow. A step forward. No sound, no rush, no fear. Before you find it, I will know everything about you. Another step. You're not the first, Rakan. A pause. But believe me, you will be the last. No attack, no movement, just control. After that night, Rakan understood. This wasn't about criminals anymore. Something else was watching, something patient, and it already knew him. This city doesn't need a hero, it needs the truth, and I will drag it into the light. To be continued. Issue 2.